Hello, what is up, guys? This is Behind the Arc podcast, and today I'm here with Austin to talk about the NBA trade deadline. Uh,
Hey, what's up, guys?
yeah, so there were many deals that happened on the trade deadline.
Let's start with Alec Burks and Glenn Robinson to Philly.
We see the 76ers, they got Alec Burks, Glenn Robinson III, and then Golden State received the 2020 second round pick from Dallas, a 2021 second round pick via Denver, and then 2022 second round pick via Toronto. Now, if you told me where they got that Denver pick or Toronto pick, I would tell you I do not know. But I know they got that Dallas pick from the Nerlens Noel trade, and well, it landed them Alec Burks and Glenn Robinson, who have both proven to be capable offensive options for the Warriors, even though they have one of the worst records in the league. So, yeah, Alec Burks. Do you want to describe what he does, Austin?
Well, Alec Burks, he's a very good mid-range shooter and definitely can handle the ball. And he when he comes off the bench, he can definitely bring a spark to any team he plays on. He could score the ball, and he showed that on every team he's been on, especially when he played not too long ago with the Warriors. When he's gone off a couple games for 30 or 28 or 27, just showing what the potential is, especially if he just comes off the bench and plays at least 25 minutes, he could score 20 in a game. And he will always have that he's a good shooter, so he can always have that
Yeah,
end of game. You can always put him in at the end of game for maybe Simmons when there's on the
yeah,
last shot. So,
yeah. Alec Burks definitely an underrated acquisition for the 76ers. But then I was really surprised they were also able to land Glenn Robinson III, who has proven to be a good 3-and-D player with the Warriors. I mean, he has kind of struggled in the league to find a place to showcase how good he is. But when he landed with the Warriors, I mean, we got to see how good he can shoot, how good he can defend, and he still has that athletic ability that was shown, in his younger years. I mean, he also won a dunk contest. I mean, that just shows how athletic he is.
yeah, Glenn Robinson is definitely an athlete and somebody who can definitely contribute off the bench for the Sixers. He is somebody who I see as is still growing and developing, but somebody that can truly help the 76ers in their run to the finals if they want to. If they needed to make this trade definitely increases their chances to make a run in the
This year.
playoff. Yeah, this year.
Yeah, the only problem with this trade is that both of them are on 1 year deals, and both of them are going to demand more money. I'm not sure if they're going to demand a lot of money, but both of them are on 1 year deals, 1.6 million. I think that's the number. Um, so for this year, it's a great move, but long term, it might cost them because they gave up 3 second round picks to the Warriors. I mean, even though Dallas, Denver, and Toronto are going to probably be really good teams, I mean, those are just, potential trade assets for another trade. But I guess it's fine.
Yeah, and
What?
Glenn Robinson
Yeah.
this year, after averaging only 4.2 points last year with Detroit, is averaging 12.9 on 40% from three and 48% from the field. So he's definitely improved enough to contribute on a winning team.
Yeah, I can agree with that. So, what grade would you give the 76ers?
On the trade,
Yeah.
uh, A minus.
Yeah, I can agree with that. And then Warriors, I'd probably just give them a B, like B plus maybe. Because, I mean,
Yeah,
those guys were supposed to be nothing. And then they actually got 3 second round picks from those two. So, I congratulate the Warriors development team on making those players really good. I really like that trade.
okay. Yeah.
So, now on to the biggest trade of the deadline. So we got the Timberwolves pulling an upset, finally getting D'Angelo Russell plus Jacob Evans and Amari Spellman for Andrew Wiggins, a 2021 top three protected first round pick and a 2021 second round pick. So, what are your thoughts on this trade, Austin?
Man, this trade is insane. There's a lot happening in this trade and a lot of players that I like or don't like. Somebody who goes underrated, and I think it's because he's played for Atlanta and the Warriors over his only 2 years in the league so far, is Amari Spellman,
Trash
who is
Warriors.
he is truly growing. He's shooting 39% from three and is averaging 7.6 points in only 18 minutes. So
Yeah, the
he's
Warriors.
playing.
It's hard to interrupt. What were you gonna say?
I said he's playing really well.
Yeah. So yeah, I think the Warriors have one of the most underrated development staff because we see Glenn Robinson, who was nothing. Now he's an elite 3-point shooter, a defender, and very athletic. Then you have Alec Burks, who has revived his career. Then now you have Amari Spellman, who can shoot threes. Good for the Warriors organization. I mean, they have a really good development staff.
Yeah. Another part of this trade that I really like is for the Warriors getting
Andrew
uh
Wiggins.
yeah, Andrew Wiggins, because Andrew Wiggins has grown over the past year and has truly shown that he can actually be who he's supposed to be when he came out of college.
Yeah. So Steve Kerr. Well, I don't know if Andrew Wiggins could be a star player, but I think he could contribute very well to a team like the Warriors. I mean, the Warriors or Steve Kerr said about the trade that they wanted a guy who could fit really well with Steph and Clay since they want to play really fast. So they're not asking Andrew Wiggins to be a star. They just want him to be kind of like a Harrison Barnes, but not. I think he's much better than Harrison Barnes, but like that is so much better than getting nothing for D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah, but I mean, Andrew Wiggins is having his best season
Yeah, like he's
since
insane. I'm not
16,
doubting that.
17.
I mean,
And he's also averaging over 5 rebounds for the first time in his career. So
yeah,
he's
he's
actually contributing.
on defense. Yeah, they're also asking him to play defense, which I mean, he's almost averaging a block per game. I mean, he's really developing on that end. Finally trying.
The worst part about Andrew Wiggins, and has been for almost his entire career, is his free throw shooting.
Oh yeah, he is. He's a terrible free throw shooter. I mean,
For a
yeah,
guard.
yeah, for a guard slash forward even.
Yeah.
All right. So also Jacob Evans. I mean, I don't really know much about Jacob Evans. Looking at his stats, he can shoot free throws, I guess, but he's been. I mean, he's still young, so you never know. But the reason why the Warriors include those two players is so they can get rid of guaranteed money. I mean, that's a recurring thing with all these trades. That the reason why some teams add more players to trades is so they can get rid of guaranteed money and open up more roster spots. So trading away Jacob Evans and Amari Spellman allowed, for example, the Warriors to sign Kai Bowman to a multi-year deal. Not sure how many years it is, but
I think it's 3 or 2. It's one of the two. Kai Bowman's insane.
yeah, that was such a great find for them. I was big on Kai Bowman coming out of college, but I was kind of
Yeah.
pissed he went to the Warriors.
Yeah, he's insane.
Yeah, he's
He
gonna be a really
deserves
vital piece for that bench.
Definitely. Okay, let's move on to the
Hold
Wizards
up.
trade Gray for Napier.
Oh yeah, before we do that, yeah, Timberwolves. What grade would you give them?
B plus.
Yeah, I would give them B plus as well. Warriors probably. I'd actually give them an A because they also got 2 picks out of this. Which, I mean, if the Timberwolves suck
What
next year, they could potentially get the 4th pick. You never know.
Yeah, because it's only top 3 protected. That's why I only give the Wolves a B plus. Is that I don't know, they could have made that more protected.
Yeah, but I guess they made Cat happy, which is what matters.
Yeah, but I don't know how it's gonna work with D'Lo and Cat. I know they played together and they're good friends and stuff like that, but
Yeah,
I don't know. They're great friends, but that doesn't always mean they're gonna play well together.
yeah, true. I mean, yeah, that's what many Mavs fans said about Andre Drummond. That we should trade for him because he's friends with KP. I'm like, okay, let's look at the Nets. I mean, the Nets have Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and DeAndre were all good friends that came in. DeAndre Jordan, I mean, I think in my opinion an average center, but just because he went to the Nets with his friends doesn't make him like Clippers DeAndre Jordan. So
Well, right now he's the epitome of a little bit above average because of how good he is at rebounding.
yeah,
But when he was in his prime, he was a top 7 center in the league.
yeah, I think he just lost a step athletically. So which has
Well,
hurt him.
he's also had to take a less significant role because of Jared Allen. So
Yeah. Anyway,
okay.
back on topic. So we have the Wizards receiving Shabazz Napier and sending out Jordan McRae. At first look, I did not like this trade for the Wizards because I thought that Jordan McRae was going to be a vital piece for them in the future because he is. I mean, he's getting kind of old. I think he's like 29 years old. He was also an elite 3-point shooter, but once Austin, Wizards fan, reassured me that this is actually not a bad move for the Wizards because Jordan McRae is an injury prone player. Uh, and they're getting Shabazz Napier, who has actually had a career year this season, averaging 9 points, 5 assists on pretty good shooting. Um, yeah, I thought this was a pretty good move for both teams.
Yeah, yeah, I like this move for both teams, especially because Denver is going to need some bench production during the playoffs, and they can keep Jordan McRae from playing too many minutes like he did with us, because Jordan McRae had to play some minutes when everybody was injured for us, which got him injured. So I'm totally okay with Shabazz. Shabazz is a above average passer, a pretty good shooter from three, and is consistent enough on offense to contribute on a day to day basis. Okay, so Jordan McRae, whenever I saw him play with the Cavs in 15-16, and he won a championship with them, I've always been a fan with him, of a fan of him because of his scoring versatility. But he definitely he's definitely injury prone. He's hurt right now. He's day to day, but he's probable for the game today. But he's been hurt for a while.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I guess. I mean, yeah, the Nuggets. I mean, they lost Malik Beasley, who was an important. I mean, I don't think it was that important to be honest, but I'd rather have Jordan McRae, who can be a 3-point specialist off the bench, rather than Malik Beasley, who I believe demands the ball in order to be most effective. So, both teams win this trade. I actually give the Wizards B plus and Nuggets to B plus. I think it was a really equal trade.
Yeah, especially for what the Nuggets needed. They needed a scoring burst off the bench,
Yeah,
and his points per game will go down because he's not going to play the 22.6 minutes that he played with the Wizards. But it'll also make it to where he's less likely to get injured like he has been over the past 2.5 seasons. So
yeah,
we'll definitely see, but I wish the best. And then Shabazz, last night he played very well. He had 14 points,
yeah. Against the
and
Mavs.
yeah, against the Mavs, and he hit that one clutch three before the third, before the end of the third to make it a 1 point game, which was a really nice move and everything. And I'm excited to see him play. I think he could definitely contribute onto our quest to become a uh, a playoff team. Yeah, and he's only on a 1 year deal also. So
Yeah, yeah. It's not like you're locked onto him for many years. But yeah, Shabazz can be a pretty good player for you guys. But I personally think unless if he outplays Ish Smith, possibly, he can stay because John Wall's gonna come back. But maybe they keep everyone. I don't know. We'll see. That's up to the Wizards front office.
yeah,
Um, so so now we're gonna move on to the Kings trade. So the Hawks got Dwayne Dedman and 2 second round picks in exchange for Jabari Parker and Alex Len. So what do you think of this trade?
okay. So the Hawks and Kings trade, that was definitely an interesting one, and I like Dwayne Dedman heading back because he was a lot more effective with the Hawks than he has been for the Kings this year. And there's definitely he did not fit in with the Kings, especially for what they were trying to do. So I like him better on the Hawks, where he can continue to develop his 3 point shot.
Yeah, he also has better chemistry with Trey Young. Anyways, so this was a good move for the Hawks, just to bring in a guy that just a veteran presence who could shoot threes and defend at his best. Also teach Bruno Fernando some of his tricks.
Yeah, but now they have four centers on their team.
And they also got 2 second round picks from the Kings.
Yeah, but they have four centers: Scal, Clint, Bruno, and now Dwayne.
Well, Alec. Oh yeah, they traded Alex Len. My bad. Yeah, Bruno's gonna definitely stay.
They,
Dedmon's gonna stay because he has a long term contract. I think Scala's up next year, so Scala's definitely gonna probably be gone. Um, I don't even think he's gonna play, anyways. So, well, I think Scales listed as a forward, but he could play center. But
he's basically a center.
yeah, uh, I think he's gone. But I think the three guys the Hawks are trying to build around is Clint Capella, Bruno, and Dedmon. At least at this point. And they got those 2 second round picks, which I think is a huge win for them, especially when they got a guy who already knows the system and can play right away.
Yeah, picks are picks. You always got to take advantage of getting a pick
Yeah,
whenever you can. Always finesse your way to get one more
yeah, that's
because
what.
you never know what they're going to be.
Yeah, that's what the Mavs did. I mean, the Mavs traded for 2 second round picks in this year's draft. Well, in other drafts as well, and those picks got them DeLon Wright, who has been a vital piece for our bench. I mean, I'm a Mavs fan, and you also have Willie Cauley Stein. Also, was part of that Isaiah Roby trade. That gave us a quality center that could he's shown some flashes of dominance, but we'll see from him. He
Yeah.
he can be really good for us. Jabari has a player option next year. I think it's like 6 million. I believe he might decline that. Depends, but the guy is a great scorer. I mean, how I said scorer, not shooter. He can put up 15 a night. Shows some inconsistencies at times, but he could definitely not shoot threes that well. But when it comes to driving in, maybe shooting a mid range shot, he's really effective. So I'm kind of glad that the Kings added more offense in this trade without
Yeah.
really making a financial sacrifice.
Yeah, but I mean, he's played for 4 teams in the last 2
And
seasons.
Alex Lynn, I think Alex Lynn's a guy who won't really care that much about not playing. And his contract's up next year, so it's just a good salary dump for them, even though they give up 2 second round picks.
I mean, Jabari Parker to me is one of the weirdest careers I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on Alex Lynn?
Alex Lynn, he's grown a little bit since his time in Phoenix, and like you said, I don't think he cares about not playing as much. However, I do feel like he could still be formed into the center that he was supposed to be. Maybe not to the extent that he was actually projected as a fifth pick in the draft, but I could see him averaging 12 and 8 consistently.
I can see at his best.
Yeah.
In the perfect scenario, on a perfect, obviously perfect team, he gets to start, plays big minutes. Yeah, I could see that. But yeah, I would probably give the Hawks an A on this one because, uh, well, yes, they do get that. While Dwayne Dedmon does take a lot of cap space, like future cap space, or at least just cap space from 2000 the 2020 offseason. His contract in 2021 is not fully guaranteed. It will only be 1 million guaranteed. So yeah, just having a guy who already knows the system, I think it's great for them. And then you also get those 2 second round picks.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would give him an A. The Kings, I'd probably give him a. Uh, I mean, they did get rid of Dwayne Dedmon's contract, and it could have gotten much worse. So the fact they got Jabari Parker off this deal, I'd probably give him a B, in my
Mm-hmm.
opinion. So, so we also have to talk about the other big trade that also happened. Make sure. Oh yeah, we have 3 more trades to talk about. So we got first off, we're gonna start with the Iguodala trade. So we got the Heat receiving Andre Iguodala, Jay Crowder, Solomon Hill, and then Memphis. This is a 3-team deal. Grizzlies getting Justice Winslow, James Johnson, Dion Waiters, and Gorgui Dieng, which at this very moment I did not know they traded. My boy Gorgui is a god, and the Timberwolves get just James Johnson. So, what are your thoughts on this trade?
Uh, This trade's very interesting. I like Gorgui Dieng moving on because he could not contribute on a team
That
like
didn't
that,
play him.
especially with and when they did play, Cat was demanding the ball every second.
Yeah. Like
So
basketball
I
reference nicknames him the Senegalese sniper. I hope I said that right, but he's a sniper. He can shoot threes. Like the fact the Grizzlies got this guy for James Johnson is insane to me. And but plus both of them, I mean, I think James Johnson has a player option next year. Maybe the Timberwolves suck so much that James Johnson says, "I do not want to come back," even though that's very unlikely because he's going to make 15 million next year. Um, yeah, uh, we'll go to the Heat. Well, I'm gonna shift to the Heat side of the trade. Andre Iguodala. We don't know anything from him. He has not played a single game this season. But from the Warriors days, we can see that, and from recent news, like with interviews and stuff, that Andre Iguodala says that he has felt so much better now than like he has ever felt throughout his career.
This break's definitely going to help him, especially health
Yeah,
wise.
yeah. While I do not respect his decision of not playing with the Grizzlies team that was actually more successful than I think anyone ever thought would be this season. Um,
Yeah. John Morant is rookie of the year. It doesn't matter how good anybody else does.
yeah, no question. I definitely agree with you. I think anyone would agree with you except like Hawks fans would say Cam Reddish is the MVP or rookie of the year. Um, MVP Reddish.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the Heat also get Jay Crowder and Solomon Hill. Those two are potential buyout candidates. I feel like Jay Crowder stays. I mean, he could be a really solid player off the bench. Solomon Hill can as well, but I think one of those guys are going to get bought out because that team is loaded with forwards now.
Loaded. Yes.
Yeah. Then we'll go to the Memphis side. They got Justice Winslow. He's been injury prone over the years, but when he plays, he's such an effective 3-and-D guy who can also handle the ball pretty effectively. When you who's the back? Yeah, so Tyus Jones is backup point guard for the Grizzlies. Maybe there's a chance here that Justice Winslow plays a little bit of point guard with the Grizzlies. That's where he's shown to be really effective. He's also very athletic, which fits the Grizzlies' way of playing basketball, which is fast. They also got Deion Waiters, another guy who can be bought out, and they get Gorgui Dieng, who's a sniper. While he does not really fit their or athletic game, he can shoot threes, grab a lot of rebounds. I mean, he's just a good guy to have on any team. And while his contract's kind of bad, he's better than James Johnson. The Grizzlies were loaded with forwards, anyways. So, do you have anything else to add to this trade?
No. Just let's do our grade.
Yeah. Miami. I mean, they gave up.
Miami.
I'll give him an A minus.
Yeah, I was thinking B plus, but A minus is okay.
B plus A minus. It's. I really don't know. It depends on how good Andre Iguodala performs. We don't know how good he's gonna perform. I think he'll perform pretty good for them, but again, I don't know.
Minnesota, that's like a C plus.
Yeah, I have no idea why they gave up Gorgui Dieng for a guy who still has a player option next year. I mean, he's making I think he's gonna make like $2 million less. Then you have the Grizzlies, who I think it's also an A minus for them. They got Justice Winslow for basically guys who are gonna either leave the team next year or weren't even playing for the team. And
Yeah, Justice Winslow is somebody I'm very high on, especially for he can move fast, he can carry the ball.
yeah, he's such a good fit with the Grizzlies.
Yeah,
I love this move for the Grizzlies.
Yeah, A minus is fine.
Maybe even A. I don't know. The Grizzlies, I think, really won this trade. I was so surprised they got Justice Winslow for a guy who didn't even play. Jay Crowder is kind of mediocre, or he's been kind of mediocre. But I think it's because he hasn't found a home yet. He's been traded like all the time. And Solomon Hill, who he's not that good.
Mm-hmm.
Um, then we have. Let's move on to the Andre Drummond trade. Andre Drummond or the Pistons surprised us all and traded Andre Drummond to the Cavs for John Henson, Brendan Knight, and a 2023 second round pick. So basically, nothing.
But yeah, this was disrespect to Andre Drummond, and I'm totally okay with it because he was not being the nice person to the organization of the Pistons. But the Pistons were like, "We want you away for nothing. We don't want you on this team, no matter
Yeah.
what."
Even all the loyalty he showed, it didn't
Yeah,
even
but
pay
he,
off.
he was pretty demanding from the team consistently.
Yeah. I think removing a guy who's cancerous didn't really show a huge work ethic is good for this organization, especially since they're trying to move towards building around Sekou Doumbouya, who, while he did come off the bench the last time I saw him play, he can be a star in this league. I mean,
Yeah, I heard the teams were reaching out about Christian Wood, and they
no,
made the right choice of not
yeah,
trading
Christian Wood. I wish my Mavs kept him instead of like Dwight Powell because Dwight Powell is not a good player. Yeah, so last Christian Wood, it was against the Thunder. He got 27 points and 12 rebounds, which is a great sign. I believe that team should build around. They should definitely build around Christian Wood and Sekou. I think that's the future.
And despite the fact that they were about to trade Luke Kennard, they should also do Luke Kennard
Yeah,
because
Luke.
he's
While he's been
a
kind of
shooting asset.
yeah, I have no idea why they tried to trade him. It was really confusing to me, but thank God they
He's
didn't.
growing. Yeah, he's growing.
They would have regretted it.
Definitely.
So looking at the Pistons side, John Henson. I mean,
He never got a chance this season.
Yeah, I think this could be a good move. He could be kind of underrated. We'll see. I think he's still injured. He's been like every minute he steps on the floor, it's 1 month out. So
I'm rooting for Brandon Knight. I hope that he continues to go through all the that he can power through all these.
Hey, he's back with his former team.
Yeah,
and then that 2023 pick. I mean, it's so bad. Or yeah, dude, that 2023 pick isn't even that good either. I mean, because Cleveland might still be mediocre by 2023. Maybe also Golden State, but that's not going to be a good pick. Like, this was literally just a straight up salary dump. And people are saying that Andre Drummond's like 100% confirmed to decline his player option, but is he though? He's going to make $28 million, and I don't think any team in this league is going to pay him more than $28 million. I'd rather just keep that money and prove to everyone that, hey, I can be a valuable center in today's league, and I deserve more than $28 million.
definitely.
All right, so Cavs, they literally gave up nothing, but this is gonna be a potentially a financial sacrifice for them. So I'd give them I'd probably give them a B plus. I mean, they literally got a potential star center for nothing, and then the Pistons. They also got rid of, a pretty cancerous player for. I mean, while he does love Detroit, I don't think many players in that team really liked him. So, good move for them. I'd probably give him a B plus. Most of these trades in the deadline have just proven to be really good trades. The only trade I was not fond of was the Timberwolves getting rid of Gorgui Dieng for James Johnson. I did not understand that move.
Yeah.
But okay, so we're gonna do our last trade of the deadline. So we all thought Marcus Morris was there's three options for Marcus Morris. He was either gonna get traded to the Clippers, who's gonna trade to the Lakers, my bad, or he was gonna stay with the Knicks. So the Clippers here, they receive Marcus Morris Sr. They also get Isaiah Thomas, who they're going to waive, sadly. Hopefully the Wizards get him back. Then New York gets Mo Harkless, who was there to make the trade work in terms of, salary cap. They also got a second-round pick via Detroit, which I'm not sure what year it is, but that is a potentially good pick. depending what year it is. If it's 2020, it's definitely a good pick, and or valuable pick to have. And they're also going to get a 2020 first round pick from the Clippers, which
Yeah.
that's, I mean, it's going to be a very low pick, but I mean, it's some. I mean, I think they did pretty well to trade the Knicks. It's not like they took on more salary. They just got picks for a guy who, even though they kept, he was going to demand way too much money to stay. Then you also have the Wizards. This was a 3-team deal. You have the Wizards receiving Jerome Robinson. I think Did the Wizards give that Detroit pick or was that? I think that Detroit pick was part of the Blake Griffin trade. I can't be too sure. But yeah, Jerome Robinson. He's a very young guard who did not get a great opportunity with the Clippers. So going to a young team like the Wizards, or a team that relies on offense, which is Jerome Robinson's, that coming out of college, that was his biggest strength, which is 3-point shooting. Coming to a team like that could really help his game and showcase what he can really do.
Yeah, definitely. We also gave up the rights to Isif Sanin, the draft rights.
Yeah.
I
to
think
the Knicks,
to
right?
the
Knicks. I'm pretty sure it's the Knicks. I don't know why the Clippers would want that. I mean, you know who else has some player rights? I mean, the Grizzlies have Satnam Singh's rights, which allowed us to get Delon Wright. So that was an amazing pick by the Mavs.
Yeah.
So yeah, that basically sums up all the deals. We
didn't give them the grade.
Yeah, we're gonna get. I was about to get to that. Clippers, I'd probably give them a. Oh, this is A plus. This is an A plus.
A plus? Why A plus?
They only gave. They gave Mo Harkless a first round pick and Jerome Robinson, but they're getting a guy who is top 5 in the league in 3-point percentage on one of the worst offensive teams in the league. He's also shooting a lot of threes. This team, I think, was also looking for forward depth, and Marcus Morris is, obviously a forward. He's kind of slow, but I don't think this Clippers team is that athletic. They have some athletic players, but it's not like super fast paced. Marcus Morris, I think, is decent on defense. I think he's one of those LeBron James kryptonite players. I forgot which. It might have been Markieff Morris, but one of those Morris twins is what kryptonite for LeBron James. So I guess they have a guy to defend LeBron while Kawhi or Paul George defend the other players. Or whatever. Yeah, his 3-point shooting or just shooting from anywhere is going to be very vital for the Clippers offense, especially in the playoffs. And Isaiah Thomas, obviously he's going to get waived, but he's just a 1-year deal, so it's not like a financial burden. Yeah. Also, Marcus Morris is only on a 1-year deal, so it's not.
If he doesn't turn out,
it's not a huge risk. They got rid of Mo Harkless and Jerome Robinson. I think they'll have a little bit of cap space this offseason to potentially get a steal at the forward position if obviously they can't resign Marcus Morris. Then you go to the Knicks side. I'd probably give them this is probably the best they were gonna get. So I'd probably give them a B minus. Mo Harkless, I believe, did not get a great opportunity with the Clippers. He was pretty good with the Portland Trailblazers. You get that 2020 first round pick, which could be the Knicks have a bunch of picks in the future. They have those Mavs picks. Now they have this Clippers pick. They just have a lot of picks. So I guess that's good for this front office. Just having so many picks in order to, because this Knicks team is trying to find a star player. They tried with Julius Randle. Hasn't really worked out, but can't blame the guy. There's no one to help him. Just a great move for the Knicks. Second round pick via Detroit. Again, Detroit, a dysfunctional franchise. Well, maybe more functional now than before since they have a pretty good coach in Dwayne Casey, and they got rid of Andre Drummond and are now building with Christian Wood and Sekou Doumbouya. I don't know. That pick could be good. I don't know what
Yeah.
year it is again. And then the Wizards, Jerome Robinson. They only gave up that draft rights to the Isuf guy or whatever his name was.
Yeah,
Uh,
Isif Sanin,
no
and
disrespect
we
there.
also
And Isaiah Thomas.
and Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Yes.
sure Jerome Robinson's only like 20 or 21 years old. He spent some time in the G League because, well, he had no role on this Clippers team like any of those years. But coming out of college, he was a raw player. He showed some potential in terms of shooting and defending.
Yep.
Yeah. So that basically sums up all our thoughts on the trades and this trade deadline. Personally, I thought this trade deadline was gonna be terrible, but it turned out to be pretty good. For most teams involved, everyone basically got what they wanted. No teams got fleeced, maybe except Timberwolves getting fleeced with Gorgui Dieng.
Yeah.
That sounds really weird. Getting fleeced because you traded Gorgui Dieng.
Yep.
But yeah, that marks the end of the fourth episode of the Behind the Arc podcast. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys really liked today's episode, we would be very happy if you would subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Spotify, and, all those other platforms we have. We also I would also like to thank Austin for being here in today's podcast. Today, Josh was out with a injury known as sickness. So, yeah. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next Monday.